Freaking Lego Masters contacted me for this board, but I couldn't get it done in time for them to use it. Man, all right, so in this video, I am going to show you the build of my Lego skateboard. This is just a popsicle skateboard. It is about 8 inches wide by 24. All right, so I'm going to show you exactly how I did this. I used stone coat countertops for the first layer, and the reason that I did that is because I like the flexibility of this resin. If you want to get 10% off, my coupon code was just up on the screen, and it'll also be in the description below. All right, so I only put down enough for a small layer. Basically, I don't want to be sanding into Legos. You know what I mean? All right, so I'm using Bubble Blaster because this is a silicone mold to pop all the bubbles. I don't add flames in my silicone molds. All right, so after the stone coat cured, I put down Promise Epoxy Deep Pour Resin. Use code FLUIDWOOD for 10% off. And then I went in, and while it was wet, like I put it in, I didn't want air bubbles underneath of my Legos. You know what I mean? So I saw a lot of people trying to make Lego skateboards, and the one thing that I saw everybody running into was it wasn't durable because, well, all of the air pockets, like I've seen them go vertical ways and horizontally and then stacked together and then done like that, and it's just too much air bubbles. So after seeing everybody's fails, I did this right here, and well, let's see if it works. All right, so I added all these in while the resin was still, wet, still liquid. And hold on, look at this little shark dude. So I thought it'd be a great idea because I had him, and then I found some legs, and it looks like he is eating the legs. Look at that. All right, so after I got the design that I wanted with the Legos, which is this right here, I go ahead and pour the remainder of the board. I love that. All right, so here is the promo code. Yes, sir. You already know. Promise Epoxy. I do a lot of clear pours, and the problems with them is minimal. Any problem I've ever had was my own. All right, so I'm going to cover all of these up, and no, they're not going to float because I did add that other layer of resin in there, and right before it cured all the way, I just go ahead and fill it up the remainder. So the skateboard mold and everything else that I use in this video is going to be linked in the description below. A lot of people see that mold and they're like,
oh my goodness,
where did you get that from?
Look at this.
So actually, I don't know, I was talking to Eye Candy, and we might be coming out with the Nita Woodworks skateboard mold. How about that? Look at this. So a lot of people ask me about air bubbles underneath and it messing up like the structural integrity of the piece. But I've been working with resin for a really long time. So I did my best with the knowledge that I had to be able to not have that much. And I think I did a pretty damn good job. So let me give you a scan from underneath. This is the bottom. I think I did a pretty good job keeping everything to a minimum. All right. And here's the top. Look at that, man. That is so fly, bro. I like that. Look, and then we got a little shark dude. Shark eating the dude. Then I got a little flame over here, a little head. Little flame. Then we got the dog and the dog bone. Got some other stuff. What do you think? Blow this up. 2 million views and I'll give it away. All right, so from here, what I'm gonna do is round over the edges. Basically, there's a little bit of shrinkage when you use the deep pour resin. That pretty much goes for any of the deep pour resins. So I am rounding over the edges, and finishing is kind of going to be kept to a minimum here because it is just a resin pour. I don't got to sand wood. I don't got to do none of those things. So this is like when you use a silicone mold and you make an ashtray or a tray or anything like that. you just start sanding. I think I started with 180 and then I went up to 220. And the only reason I did 180 was to get the router marks out. One thing I did not take into account was I left the fin like poking out of the top, and I did that intentionally. And I didn't realize how hard it would be to router and sand around that thing. So yeah, that's interesting. All right, so you're gonna try to make the curvature of the board as best you can. And then I'm adding my first flood coat. And I do the first flood coat on the top. You don't have to do seal coats like you do with wood because nothing here is porous. After I do the top flood coat, I add tape to the bottom like this. I can do a more in-depth video of this if you want to see it. Just make a comment and ask for it and I will deliver. The reason that I do this is so that way I don't have to clean up drips from the bottom. I don't want to have to do more work than what I have to do. Does that make sense? All right, so let's do the other flood coat. And like I said, this is Promise Epoxy's tabletop resin. Use code FLUIDWOOD for 10% off. And you're just going to mix this up. The reason I mix so much is because I had like 4 other projects going. So, all right, you're going to do your flood coat. And if you don't know how to do a flood coat or a finish, go ahead and click on the video up top. And that's going to show you exactly how to get a glass-like finish. All right, so self-leveling resin self-levels at 1/8 of an inch, and it's your job to make it that. You got to get rid of all of the surface tension and all those things. I think I'm going to make a YouTube video that has all of the slang and terminology of resin workers so that way you can know what we're saying when we say it. All right, so pop your bubbles, and you're going to do this until you see no bubbles, okay? Because people ask me, and I'm like, until you're done. I don't know. All right, so take all the tape off. And if you have a problem, then bust out your heat gun, throw a little heat on there and like this, just like that. And it will just peel right off. Like I did my last one, probably maybe a week and 6 days, almost 2 weeks after. All right, so I am getting these hard lines out, and then I'm going to do the ultimate top coat. And the ultimate top coat is from Stone Coat Countertops. I'm doing a video on how to do that finish. I'm going to do an updated one because I've learned a lot since I started. All right, so if you've never heard of this product, then what the hell is it? All right, so basically it's a hybrid urethane finish. It's a 2-part, it's 2-to-1, and I actually skipped putting the other part in. So it just adds an extra layer of UV resistance and scratch resistance. So I put these on my boards because you could take car keys 24 hours after putting it on and like you're straight on that. So use code Nita10 for 10% off anything from Stone Coat. All right, so here I am just drilling my holes the best that I can. And we're going to get the trucks placed in here. This is one of the most satisfying things in this part. So I'm thinking of doing a video that shows how to put trucks on, how to put the wheels on, what's up with the bearings and the spacers, and what are all those washers and speed washers and nuts and things like that. I've been making these boards for about 4 years, so I kind of got it down. I'm no professional, but I'm kind of a professional. I'm just fucking with you. Anyways, yeah. All right, so add on your wheels, your bearings, all of those good things. And like I said, if you're interested in a video on how to do this, how to change your trucks out, how to do any of that, I got you. It's really easy, and I haven't found any good videos on it yet, so I'm willing to do that for you guys. I've got the content. I'll just make it. All right, so after that, you're going to tighten everything up. I like to tighten it all the way and then go back about 1/3. And there you go. Look at this bad boy. Oh, that bitch is sexy. Look at that. Oh, my goodness. All right, so everybody's always like, how are you going to skate on a resin skateboard? That's going to be so slick and so slippery. No, it ain't. All right, so I add Lucid grip onto the tops of my boards, and this is one hell of a grip. But I actually just found out a new way to do this grip. It's actually using a different finish, and I don't like the adhesive. I'm just gonna be real. I like it, but not for my clear boards. I use it on my wood long boards and things like that. So after you do that, you're gonna sprinkle this about 6 to 8 inches from the surface. And I use the Superfine grip, and they have a medium grip as well. I use the light grip. Yeah, so you just sprinkle this on there and you let it cure. And yes, this is the functional freaking board, you guys. What do you think? Do you want to see more stuff like this? All right. This is the finished piece. She is available. It is linked up in this YouTube video. And like I said, if you have any questions that I have not answered, drop a comment. I got you guys. Join my membership over in IG if you're interested in learning behind the scenes tips and all the pro tricks. Basically my knowledge over the last 5 years. All right, you guys, I am out. I appreciate you. Like, share, subscribe, or don't. I will catch you next time.